What is
And,
up, YouTube?
and yep, and we're live. Not going
What
to be
is
live for a long time, guys. Like an hour, give or take. Somebody else is going live. Dust Productions or something like that. I don't know, doing something. So,
heck yeah,
but anyhow, here we're live, and Dawson and I had an adventure.
we did. Yeah, it was actually pretty cool, guys. So, yeah, definitely watch it whenever it comes out because it was pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, no, I'm kidding.
It was pretty awesome. Well, it was awesome for some parts, but one specific part, like us being, I won't give too many spoilers, but us getting stuck in a certain place was not fun.
That. I will say that was weird
Yeah. No, I
because
mean, yeah, for sure. Especially like so on its own it was weird. Like it should not have happened, like according to everything it should not have happened. But then to put on top everything else in that same area that night, it's like extra weird.
right. Real quick. Hey, Rawside. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Shadow Cat. Hey, Cree. Let's see who else we got in here right now. Oh, let me look. Let me see. I should probably put on my glasses, but I'm not going to.
Old man Joe.
Yeah, Tanya. Let's see. Going through this, kind of going through this quick because, like I said, I'm not going to be live for a very long time. Hello, Dragon Ranger. Let's see. Hello, Chris Williams. Let's see. Scrolling down.
Fantastique,
Yep.
Nancy,
Yep.
Laura,
Let's see. I'm going to butcher this. Hi.
Hell's Bells.
Kells Bells. Okay. I kind of thought it was that, but then I was like, I don't want to butcher this. I would feel bad.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. 49 months? Jesus.
49 months.
I
That's like
know.
4 years in a month.
Wow. Holy crap. That's awesome. And there's Shadow Cat, member for 10 months. That's awesome too. Let's see. We have Dragon Ranger, 2 months. That's awesome. I do appreciate it. I'm not like, oh, they've only been a member for this long. I don't like, no, it's just cool that people are members.
Heck yeah. Hey, in my opinion, in this, I think it's just as cool to be new member 1 month or also 49 months because it's real support. Well, I mean, all of it's real support, even just watching and not being a
Right.
member. But like that to me is like awesome because people are spending their hard earned money just to, support you when
Right.
they can support you for free. So yeah, heck yeah. It's all
Right.
appreciated.
No, I love it. I love it. And I do appreciate it. And I don't try to push it or anything like that because, like,
I forget to plug my stuff like every single video, and I export my video and I always watch it once on YouTube before I make it public because I want to make sure it's okay. And every time I watch it, I'm like, yeah, I said nothing about any promotion whatsoever. But whatever. I'm like, screw it. If people want to do it, they'll do it.
um, yeah, I never try to push it or anything like that. I'm just one of those people who's like, well, I mean, if I'm going to these places, it's my responsibility. But if, people help, by being a member or donate or whatever, it definitely helps. So, but I always tell people, look, I got 3 tiers. Just do the 99-cent one. just do that one, please. Just do that one.
Heck yeah.
Um, but all right, let's see. Where were we? Oh yeah,
Harriman Hospital.
yep.
Or did we say that? Did we say what place we're at? Screw it.
We didn't, but I mean, it would have went there anyways. No, but that situation, being stuck. we could totally call the video the title, or say in the video title, "Trapped." Because
yes, like I was thinking the same thing because we legitimately were trapped. Like it's not even clickbait. We were actually trapped. Once you guys see the footage, you will see like I got to the point where I started panicking. So you guys are gonna watch it anyway. So like I'm not gonna give every detail because I want to leave some like excitement and stuff. But we were trapped in an area that you aren't able to be trapped in. Like it doesn't make sense to be trapped in. There's 3 separate exits.
And
Um,
I have been through this area. Dawn has been through the area. Side Guy has been through this area. My son's been through the area. I think Jason and his crew have been through this area. No problems.
yeah, but we go and we just
Yeah.
get stuck. And so here's the issue, guys. You may think, why didn't you just call your guide or the owner? We didn't have it. We never got their information because we decided to opt out of a tour because I figured I'm going to do my own research. Joe can tell me some things along the way, and Joe's already gotten a tour like 3 times. So we're like, okay, like we're not even going to do this. And our guide was just like, okay, I'm going to go to the crew headquarters and then you guys can just do your thing. We didn't get a number, nothing. So we're stuck in this area. I pull out my phone, I just Google the place. I call the number that's on there, no answer. I go to the website, call that number, no answer. The owner of the building was on a cruise and he had no internet, so we couldn't even message him and say, hey, can you tell the guide to come let us out?
Well, I had messaged the Harriman Hospital Facebook page. 2 days later, they got a hold of me. Oh my God.
Are you guys
I
still
didn't see
stuck?
this message. I'm so sorry that happened. I'm like, 2 days too late.
Yeah.
We're dead. I should have been like, we're dead.
Yeah.
We died. We're ghosts.
It was ridiculous. I didn't like freak out, but I panicked a little bit because my thought process was because of what we're doing, they're not going to come looking for us. It's a private investigation. They're not going to. We wouldn't want them to just start walking around the building trying to find us. So like I sat there and I went, and this was early on, like we just got there. I just sat there and in my head I went, I just spent all this money for this location I'm super excited about, and we're going to be stuck in this specific small area until like 1 in the morning when they find out, hey, where are these people? They need to leave. And then eventually they're going to find us. That's what went through my head was we're stuck in here. We didn't even have any equipment with us. So like we couldn't even just sit there and like do anything.
I
Like we
had
had
my
no
camera with me.
yeah, we had no recorder. Like we couldn't do EVP sessions. We couldn't set up like a REM pod or like we couldn't do anything in there. We're just stuck.
Oh God, that would have been an extremely boring
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Hello, Dawn.
We're just sitting there, like we didn't have cards. Like, well, here's the thing. We could have just pulled out our phones and just like played games on our phones or something. Or like, you know what we could have done realistically, now that I think it would have been really dumb, but we probably could have, like, if we were legitimately stuck there for hours, we probably could have called the police and had them, show up to the Ring doorbell and then tell them what happened, but still, it was terrible.
Right. Dawn, it was the stairwell where Joanne's area is.
Yeah.
And like I didn't even think, like, I've been through there many times, like no big deal. And
you specifically said that too.
Yeah,
you literally said, oh, okay, this door won't open, no big deal, it shouldn't, but we can just go up here. And then that one wouldn't open either.
Right. And then we I won't say how we got out. That part
yeah, we should probably keep that part.
Yeah, well, we won't say how, but I mean, not that we did anything illegal, but
I was this close.
But the lady that was there, uh, she was standing or sitting out front watching the parade go by.
Yeah, she's just sitting in a chair, like having a good time. And so I can't give too many details because of what we just said, but basically, we show up to her in front of the hospital, and she's just kind of like, oh, like and we're like, we have a story to tell you. Yeah.
And then she's like, that shouldn't have happened. Like,
Yeah, and she confirmed it. So like you had already said many times, like none of this should be like this. And then she also confirmed, no, no, those don't lock.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It was just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it was terrible. And guys, again, I'm not to be too cryptic and annoying, because I'm sure listening to this is like a little annoying, like, oh my god, just tell me. But like what we had happen in that area after that was really, in my opinion, awesome. We had some really awesome stuff happen in that area after that, and like it almost, in a way, and I haven't completely edited the video, I haven't completely reviewed everything, so there are subject to change, but it all kind of went together too perfectly, including us getting locked in that area. So like it really is awesome. It's going to be really cool. um Joe's just like, yeah, cool.
I'm just like, it was just dumb what happened. Hey, spaghetti.
Dawson probably told her Australia wasn't real, so no. But I did, before we ever got in there, I did say, has anybody ever said, and I can't say too much about this either because it's part of my secret documentary, but I basically asked her, I'm like, has anybody ever saw an alien in here? Essentially is what I said. And then she's like, no, I've never heard that. Yeah. So
and before we went there, I sent Dawson a message. I'm like, hey, you want to see me get them to talk about some of the big channels that have been there and the bullshit with that?
yeah.
And I made it happen, but briefly, just
Yeah.
briefly. Just I didn't want to get into that whole thing. I just because we were very limited on time.
Yeah. Yeah. I chose the shorter investigation. I mean, the longer one was only a couple hours more, which really could make a huge difference
It
within the
would
panel.
have made it, yeah, it would have made a big difference. Not having a parade would have made a big difference.
Yeah. So yeah, let me tell you guys about that. So we show up, and we like fly our drones around and everything, and we're
No,
parked in the
we
park.
we didn't fly our drones around. When I got there, I was getting ready to fly my drone, and there was a cop across the street at that drugstore, and he's like, "Don't fly." I'm like, "Okay," and I didn't. Dawson did. He's the rule breaker.
Are PQ talking shit about me right now, Nosferatu? That's funny. I was just talking to them earlier, so it probably has something to do with that. Hopefully, they're not talking about something specifically that we talked about, because that'd be embarrassing. I'm not gonna say it. So Joe shows up. They say, "Hey, you can't fly your drone or whatever," and I show up a little after Joe because he showed up, or he lives closer. Anyways, and I go to fly my drone, and Joe's like, "Hey, the police told me like I can't fly my drone." And he basically said something along the lines, his drone is different, guys. So his drone, you need like a pilot's license and all this and that. Mine isn't. And so I was just like, well, they didn't tell me. So I flew my drone, and I made it quick. And so flew that around. Joe was taking some B-roll, and we go to this place to eat. It was a really good place, right down the street. I forget what it was called. And we just sit down, we get the menus, and this woman walks up to us, and she hands me like a candle. a fake candle. And she's like, "Can you put that in the window for me, please?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like getting into the holiday spirit, right? And she's like, "No, this is for the parade." And me and Joe are like, "What parade?" And she's like, "Yeah, there's like, our big yearly Christmas parade today."
And
And I
she's like,
just
at 7, and I turn around, I'm like, tonight?
yeah, he said, "Tonight?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Fudge." Because so basically, here's the thing. We could have done it the night before or the night after, something like that. I forget which. No, it was the night before we could have done it. And I just decided that I was going to push it back a day and do it that day because I wanted Michael to come with us, and he didn't end up coming with us. So we chose that day for nothing. So Michael, if you're watching, no, I'm just kidding. But so I chose that day instead, and we show up. There's a parade going on, and we're just like, dude, worst timing ever. It's freezing. Actually, it wasn't freezing. It was like
It wa
50 to it was 50 degrees inside the hospital, but it was cold. Um,
it was colder outside than it was inside, but we were up.
yeah.
You know, we
And
were
here's the thing: when you're sitting still, like you do ghost hunting, and it's like chilly out. Like I was wearing a hoodie the whole time. It wasn't like freezing temperatures or anything, but like when you're sitting still in a place that is cold, like it was cold. But so, we had to deal with that. We had to deal with the parade. The parade only went on for like a little less than an hour. Um because it was 7 to 8, right?
right.
Yeah. And of course you guys know small town parades, probably all parades, fire trucks just like bomb bomb just while we're trying to walk around and set up for the lone camera theory abandonment. And Joe's just like, dude, this is so bad. It actually wasn't that bad. I reviewed the footage. You can only really hear it like twice. Because most of it was right at the beginning as we were getting everything set up. So we missed a lot of the loud noises. But anyways, yeah. So it was a night. I don't
Um,
mean to take over the live stream. Sorry, Joe.
no, you're fine. So the reason why I couldn't fly the drone, and we didn't know this until the parade was going on, but the police were actually flying their drones, and that's why I was told don't fly. But I didn't see any drones in the sky
Me
when I
either.
was there. So I don't know. I was just told that the police were flying their drones. So I don't know. All I know is if a cop says don't fly, don't fly.
Yeah. They didn't tell me though, so I flew, but I needed them to tell me, and I was gonna pretend like Joe didn't tell me and I got some sick shots. Joe can attest. I sent them to him. They're pretty sick shots.
I still gotta download them.
Oh,
Um,
well,
yeah, I
fine.
forgot. Well, I kind of forgot, and I'm like, I gotta download those. Then I forgot again. But I gotta get those. Yeah.
Also, hi to everybody that came in that I didn't say hi to. I see most of you guys.
Hello, Shirley. Sherry. Why did I say Shirley? Sherry. Yeah, my name's Joe.
Joe
Um,
Vitale.
hello, Friday House.
Will you post the shots in a video? Are you talking about the drone shots? Because
Oh,
if so, yeah.
yeah. The drone shots will be in the videos. Um, no, Harriman Hospital is a really cool place. Um, but if you ask people who have been to Harriman Hospital and Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, which is owned by the same person, the majority will say Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, and we will go there.
Yeah.
We
And
will go there.
if I'm not mistaken, and neither of them they claim demon or anything, but if I'm not mistaken, Old South Pittsburgh, according to the owners as well as investigators, it's more of a creepier, more of a freaky, more of a darker haunting, like more, um, I guess you could say meaner, right?
Yeah,
And they
something like
say
that.
Harriman is more like children and kind of like fun.
Right. Well, I mean, my experiences with Old South Pittsburgh Hospital is kind of, I'm like, I don't know because for example, um, I'm, we were at Harriman Hospital, and something whispered my mom's name. My mom's dead. How the hell would anything there know?
Disembodied voice or EVP?
It was nobody else heard it. Only I did. And yes, it did get captured on a digital recorder, but nobody else heard it. And I'm like, I heard it. I'm like, what the fuck? And I thought maybe I just heard it wrong. When I went and reviewed, I'm like, no, that's fucked up. Wow. Growled at. We got growled at. And it wasn't, and we're talking, this is somewhat of a large group of people that were in a certain part of Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. It's the fake chapel. There's a chapel, but what they did is they took the pews from the chapel, put them in the basement, and just call it the fake chapel. They're very upfront about that. So you have a bunch of pews in the basement. They're set up, and there's a podium up front, and we're just talking, joking around, and just something just like growled at us, and wasn't a fucking animal. We're like, what the fuck was that? Like, holy shit. Then
we gotta check that out.
Not only me, but a couple of other people, we had witnessed this flash of like blue light. Now, at first, one of the guys that was there, hey Jeff, one of the guys that was there, said, anybody see that flash of light? And I had seen it out of the corner of my eye. And then another guy's like, oh, somebody took a picture. And like, nobody took a picture. Well, it wasn't a flash from a camera or a phone. But we seen this flash of blue light out of nowhere. Let's see. I've been there so many times. Had some cool shit happen.
They say that there's like a 7-foot shadow figure there, don't they? Or is that Harriman?
Yeah, they say there is. Now, and that does remind me of I went there for an event. It was actually the day after the first time I investigated Hales. And I was with a bunch of people, and the guy that we thought we had seen go past us at Hales, which wasn't actually him and I, we were standing just inside the hospital, and you get the stairs that go into a basement. The basement's kind of split off a little bit, but we're looking, and we're seeing a shadow just walk, and we're like, what the fuck is that? There's a little bit of light in the basement from something. We didn't know where the light was coming from at that point in time. What the fuck is that? We're just looking, and we see it again. We're like, hey, anybody in the basement? Nothing. And again, a little later, we asked, sounds like somebody's getting their truck out of the ditch. Anyways, when did you guys do this investigation? Jeff, the Harriman investigation was last week.
Well, so me and Joe did Harriman last week, but if you're talking about the Old South Pittsburgh,
that was years ago.
I wasn't there.
So yeah, we kept seeing the shadow dart back and forth. And finally, I had crouched down to look to see what the fuck was going on. And then I realized the light that we were seeing was actually from one of those little like, oh God, what are they called? I don't want to say a Halloween prop or whatever, like a little lantern or something like that. And it was just used for people to see. And whoever was down there left it down there. So they'd have to go back and get it. So I crouched down and I'm watching, and then I see it again. And I'm like, that's a tall motherfucker. Like, whatever that is tall. And I went down there like, hello. Like, I was hoping to see somebody. Nothing. I'm like, well, that's fucked up. We'll be coming down here in a little bit. So went back up the steps and like, okay, that was weird.
What
door handles, like the door handles would jingle too. Um, what else? But there's a lot. There was quite a few things that was experienced there, and it's a cool place.
What so you probably answered this question like a million times, but of all the types of locations you can go to, houses, asylums, hospitals, um, outdoor locations, everything like that. What would you say, theaters, what would you say your favorite type of place is to investigate? And not even necessarily based on activity, just like like when you go to this type of place, like you're like ready to roll, like you're
I like residentials because they are unique, and I find that more things tend to happen with residentials. But with residentials comes the risk. I investigated a residential last time I did a residential. Actually, I did with this guy John Sparks, and long story short, at one point she had asked me if I was in a relationship with somebody, and I'm like, fuck, yeah, complicated kind of thing, just trying to shrug that off. And then I went over to where John was standing. He was standing next to his car across the street from the house. I walked over to him and I'm like, I can't stay. Told him what happened. He's like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, I can't stay. And then we were talking. I said, look, I'll stay a little bit longer, but it's gonna get worse. Um, so I
Yeah,
did.
there's also a burden with that, like a mental burden as well with residentials, where it isn't just like you go in, you're trying to catch some cool stuff, like you're actually trying to get answers for people, and it's an ongoing thing as well. So like, that's also part of the fun, but also like it can be, you know, awful as well.
Um, so also too, members can see this video. The place was disgusting. There,
Mm.
it was trashed. Um, there were cockroaches all over the place. Like cockroaches didn't even fucking care. Like I look over at an ashtray, and I swear to God, a cockroach was like, "What's up, bro?" Like, okay,
The cockroach is just smoking a cigarette.
yeah, it was by the ashtray. He was smoking a cigarette. Like, "What's up, bro? You got a Marlboro, man?" uh, but I didn't even want to set my gear down. I didn't want to set my backpack down. None of that shit. Um, but anyhow, yeah, I'm like, all right. I said, so I got to get out of here. We'll go over what I have, and let John know, and whatever the fuck it was. I said I was just done, and she's like, no, Joe, don't go. Take me with you. She's like, I'm not high maintenance, and I cook. I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, okay, I really need to get the fuck out of here.
So to answer, I think it was Shadow Cat's question. Where is it? Yeah. So I will answer that. The scariest place, um, genuinely, the
Hey,
Bell Witch
Carla.
Cave. Huh?
I was just saying hi to Carla. Go ahead.
Oh, so genuinely, the Bell Witch Cave, is like I believe in my title I have like scariest night of my life. That isn't like clickbait. Like that place really was like, and I've personally experienced like some shit. And when I went there, it was just all night. Off camera stuff, on camera stuff, because sometimes we genuinely just needed to be like, all right, let's head to the next investigation, and then we would like go sit down for 20 minutes and just like mentally prepare and like talk to each other to sort of like, okay, are we going crazy? It was genuinely like terrifying. They don't like when people use the term like demon in their thumbnails and titles, even though everybody except for me has done that, including people that went and released their videos at a very similar time. Uh, it it really was like whatever it's whatever, I don't want to like disrespect them, but whatever a demon is, uh like, and I did a whole series basically trying to determine, in my opinion, what it is, and I still don't know. Obviously, it was kind of a silly idea to do 4 videos and be like, all right, we're gonna figure out what a demon is. But anyways, whatever it is that people consider a demon that is like dark or whatever, it is definitely there. So and in that video, I show, because of my researcher, I will preface that because he did amazing work for that video. I showcase some like downright fuck yeah documentation that like skeptics dismissed as like, oh well, there's no proof of this before this book came out, and I like outright proved that it did happen before the book, like with real documentation. So like, okay, now I'm tangenting about the video, but anyways, the Bowwitch Cave was terrifying. It really was like the scariest place.
So when it, like, my favorite locations, normally, like, my favorite locations have more to do with the owners of the location and staff. I don't necessarily have like a favorite type of like place to investigate. It really does come down to owners and staff. And for the most part, owners and staff have been awesome. A couple of exceptions here and there, but um, if I
called out one of them in my last video. I don't know if you watched it, Joe, but
Jesus Christ, you can get yourself in trouble. But anyway,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Places that carry a lot of weight to it, hospitals, prisons, asylums, things like that. Even certain schools, depending on what happened within that school. So, is there anywhere that Joe and Dawson would like to investigate together? Titty bar, 100% titty bar.
It's funny that you mentioned that because they tore it down, but there was a like titty bar, like regular bar, and I believe it was LA that I always wanted to investigate. I believe it was torn down before I started investigating, but I like read about it and I really wanted to do it, and then I found out it was like torn down, but it was like a titty bar, and it had some really cool like hauntings. So like, I know that it's a joke, but there probably is some pretty cool ones out there that have some stories, because there's not always the most upstanding individuals that go to and from there.
I have actually investigated one up in Michigan when I lived there, but it wasn't running. It was shut down, and a lawyer bought the building. He was going to open up an office and have other lawyers in there and shit like that. So I was told that it was being re-renovated, and a lawyer had bought the place. I'm thinking, okay, cool. Go there. And I'm just kind of looking around. I'm like, a little weird, like, what are they going to do? Put up a billboard or something with this lawyer? Like, is this some hotshot lawyer? Is this Jeffrey Feiger? What the fuck is going on? We go in and I see stage and poles. I'm like, are we at the right place?
The guy just wanted to hang out.
And they're like, no, we told you a lawyer bought this and turning it in, this stuff is getting tore out, and it's going to have an attorney's office. It's going to be a bunch of attorneys, a law firm, whatever the fuck it is. And like, I'm like, I don't see this working.
Well, like, here's the thing.
It was just bizarre.
So strip clubs are a place where like divorces happen, right? And so is a law office. That's where it's finalized.
They really, practice family law. Yeah. With the family. So I mean,
so there was a couple questions that I was gonna, one of them was pointed towards me for sure. Yeah, that one. And then uh, it depends which ones you're talking about. So, for instance, like Elkmont, that's near Gatlinburg, and then most of the other like cabins in the church that you're probably referring to, those are in Cades Cove, also Tennessee. Both of them are in the Smoky Mountains in East Tennessee. So,
Yeah, he was out my direction, never even bothered to be like, "Hey, I'm coming your way."
I did one of the times, and you said you couldn't come. So, but also it's not illegal, but like it's not exactly there's a gray area, so also I wasn't too sure how down you would be for that. It was
Oh,
basically one of those situations where, like, for instance, in the church video, we had a park ranger pull up on us and it was about to be dark out, and this is something that I suspected but I didn't know for sure until that moment, and he pulled up and he said, "Hey," and we're like, "Oh, we're getting kicked out," and he was like, "This is our last pass. If you break down, you're on your own. We're leaving." And I'm like, "Oh shit." Like, this just got real because there's no service out there or anything. And I was like, uh-oh, like, I figured we were out there on our own, but it was also one of those things where like I knew for a fact that we were on our own now, and it was like it made it that much scarier. But the other one was Shadowcat, I think, that said how much of the Bell Witch story is true. So that's kind of like a difficult question. Me and my researcher were able to verify that it did in fact happen before the book that made it famous, that like brought everything up. So that it was documented to have happened. Um, how much is it true? I mean, this ghost reportedly would like give full sermons uh from two separate churches that are like 40 miles apart from each other or something crazy like that, and they would give them at like the same time, and then people from that church would come and be like, "Oh, that just happened." And so like, is that true? I find it impossible to believe, but I have my own theories on why it could be true and why hauntings were stronger back in the day, but it could have been faked for sure. Then it comes down to a lot of what I was thinking was that this was a poltergeist, one of the earliest poltergeist like documentation cases, because a lot of it centered around a young teenage girl, and a lot of the activity was very poltergeist-y, and so I was like, okay, this is a poltergeist case. And then when I went there, like everything changed. I'm like, I'm not sure if whatever was there back then is what is there now. So now, like, could it be an egregore situation? But anyways, there is proof, documentation that the haunting did occur way back in the day. How much of the haunting is real? We weren't able to actually prove that Andrew Jackson showed up and his horse wouldn't walk up, and he showed up with his buddies before he was president, and like had a silver bullet that he like shot in the air and everything. Like, we weren't able to prove any of that. Most of that is just like from a diary that one of the family members had. So yeah, it's a difficult question. But what I do know is that there is proof of it before the book.
right.
Jeez, fucking shut me up, goddamn.
Jesus fucking Christ. Just fucking talk. You know whose channel you're on? No.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know if it looks like Minecraft.
I can see what you mean though.
I mean,
But
yeah, I can see what she means, but
I actually would like to say this if
oh my
you
God.
weren't about to say something.
No, go ahead.
If you weren't about to say something.
No, go ahead.
So somebody within this community, we all know him, Pomp, you know,
Right.
he's not really one to be a bullshitter. He's very, I don't even think he necessarily believes in ghosts. I think he kind of just likes hanging out with everybody. But anyways, he reached out to me after the Bell Witch video, and during the video, he got a phone call from a number that didn't have the proper amount of numbers to be a phone number. And I believe in the UK, they have like an extra number versus America. Anyways, the phone call was from John Bell, and I guess he like tried to call it back, and it was just like this number has never existed or something like that. And I will just say I don't believe in the whole, because you know how there's like that people will say, and most of it is just to get people to comment on your video. I claim no negative energy. Like they claim that spirits can like go through because of the Wi-Fi and like the
Yeah,
electricity.
it's all part of the satanic panic thing that happened.
Right. So, anyways, I never believed in that, and I still don't. But Pomp kind of suggested, he's like, "Whoa, dude, what if this is real?" Because that was a weird phone call. And he messaged me about it privately, and he's talked about it in like my premiere since. And like I said, he's not really one that bullshits like that or like tries to get attention, and like chats. So I will say that I thought that was really weird. And he's talked to me about it since, and he also is like, I have tried everything. I can't figure out why that would happen. So that was kind of cool. So if anybody has ever like
And
experienced
why
something,
him?
well, yeah, see, that's what's weird too, is like he's in a whole other country. Like it almost like if we're gonna pretend that that is real, you would almost think that it would happen like in Tennessee or something, right? Like in closer proximity, I guess. I don't know
Right.
how it works, but he said that it happened, and I don't think he's a liar. Uh, was it a ghost? Was it the Bell Witch? Was it John Bell? Who knows? Probably not, right? But it was really cool, and
Um,
if I go back, I'm going to talk to him about it on camera.
Now I have like gotten phone numbers where it was like missing two numbers or it was like five numbers, and it's like I go to answer them like, "Oh hey, we're calling about your car's extended warranty," or "Hey, somebody in Texas on the border is using your social security number." It's like, come on, it's a scam.
Yeah, but like it wouldn't let him answer it. It literally showed up as John Bell, which was really weird. Um, is it possible? Because like all of our phones are absolutely compromised. He's listening to the video. I say John Bell 100 times, and his phone kind of, like how ads work. Is that what happened? Probably. But the issue is like we can't
But
confirm
it
it,
called
deny
him.
it. It called him, yeah, just out of
Right.
nowhere.
I
And
mean, I'm not getting any phone calls from like Domino's or whatever
yeah.
the fuck ads pop up
Well,
on Facebook.
yeah, exactly. But who that's kind of just my idea of like, okay, how are we gonna disprove this? And he was kind of freaked out by it, and he was telling me how like he's never had that happen. Like he was asking my opinion. I kind of told him just like flat out, I don't know. Like that was weird. Like why
Hey,
would that
Strange.
happen? Hey,
Um,
Strange. Spain's
yeah,
just like get the fuck out of here with that.
yeah. I don't know.
Jeff
That
got a phone call one time from Colin Collingwoods. Uh, I think is what it was. Jeff, if you're still in here, you should definitely say that. But I remember he said that there was like a weird ghost, like it was common there or whatever. Like there's no landline anymore, but like the landline had called him and like other people.
I've had this happen once. Um, and I was only talking about going there. I hadn't been there yet. Uh, and it was oh my god, Post Town. I get a phone call. It's an Ohio number. I'm like, what the hell's this? I answer it. The fucking phone number for Post Town.
Really?
Yeah. This was like in 2014, 13, something like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, Friday House, it wasn't like 5 digits or anything. It wasn't like one of those. It was like whatever it was weird. And I'm not saying that, hey guys, this is paranormal, and neither was he. He just told me the story, and I thought it was really interesting to share. So like, chill out on the all like, fuck you, Dawson. I'm just sharing with somebody, but no,
Yeah.
I was not tempted. I told myself the entire time leading up to the investigation I was going to take a rock because I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is stupid. I'm not going to be cursed from taking a rock. And then after everything that happened that night, and Michael was gonna ride back with me, I was like, yeah, I believe in this haunting. Whatever's here is, I believe it to be dark, and I didn't take a rock.
Yeah, that's true. But normally, as far as I know, that would pertain to like text messages. So, like, I'll get a text message from a 4-digit number for some like Verizon, for example. Hey, we got a great deal for you. It's like, no, your 5G network sucks and it doesn't work here. Leave me alone. I mean, I probably would have grabbed a rock and threw it in with the rest of my dirt and rock and debris collection. Um, I don't really buy into all that stuff.
I mean, I didn't either. That's why I was gonna take one, and then after everything that happened, I was like, no. I had a long, well, it wasn't long. It was like an hour and a half drive down curvy back roads, and I was just like, no, I'm good. And weird shit happened to both me and Michael afterwards for a short period of time. So it was almost like it was because I was gonna jokingly put a rock in Michael's pocket as
Oh,
like, if
that
you
would have
don't
went over
know.
well with him.
Well, if you didn't know, it's sort of like, there's a saying that like missionaries would say is like, if you go into the Amazon jungle and you tell a tribe about Jesus and everything, and that like, hey, if you don't believe in him, you're gonna go to hell or whatever that they would say. They're, if they don't know, if they never knew, are they just immune to that? Will they go to heaven? And missionaries will say yes, because you are genuinely oblivious, and he won't punish you.
Well, then
And
leave them oblivious. Then they're
well, yeah,
better
that's
off.
actually, that's part of it. Actually, there's actually like a morality issue with that people kind of like push onto missionaries, like quit telling people that have nothing to do with it because they're genuinely oblivious. But anyways, yeah. So it's like if I gave it to Michael and he never knew, would anything happen? Because but I wasn't going to let him leave with it. I was going to tell him before we left and let him make the decision if he wants to take it home. But after everything that had happened, he wasn't going to take it home, and I didn't want to give him bad juju, so I didn't do it.
Jesus. Um. Oh yeah. Well, I'll briefly talk about something that I won't get into too much detail. I won't say specifically what I used, but it definitely is not designed for investigations. I wanted to experiment with AI, and it may have actually worked. Problem is that it is one of those things where I'm going to have to use when I'm by myself, because when other people start talking, it reacts and it'll start saying stuff back. So it's like I used it for an EVP session. I used it a couple of times just to see how well it would work out. And it came up with a name,
Useful.
useful name, and then gave me information. And I'm like, I've never heard this story before.
Not on the website.
Not on the website.
Not searchable just by searching that and Harriman Hospital.
So during our EVP session, this AI might have picked up an EVP. I still have to go through my stuff, which we will do for members when I do the review. But
remember, there's certain stuff.
Oh yeah, there is a certain.
There's a certain section that he cannot review publicly.
It wasn't like anything bad. It's just conversation. We'll just
certain
say
things
that.
were said. Yeah.
Not anything bad, but No, I think I can because I wasn't recording at that time.
Oh yeah, it was my footage, I think.
Yeah, it was your footage. Or what? I don't remember. I know I wasn't recording at that point in time. So we're good there. Um, but
Don't give too many details, but definitely talk about
right.
why that AI thing was interesting.
Oh, it's interesting because it see it didn't notify me immediately, which sucked. It wasn't until the following day when it when I got a ping from it and it's like, hey, in this audio, here's what's being heard in this audio. And then gave me that information and I said, do research. Look at verifiable records, factual documents. Don't go to any other website, anything like that. Only just like get the fucking facts.
The sources were incredible too, by the way.
Yeah. And I now see I do have to go back though, and I do need to verify that information just
Right.
just to make sure. Because with the thing with AI, I don't care who the AI is made by. I don't care. You cannot you take AI with a grain of salt because at the end of the day, it's searching online.
Yeah, it'll morph stuff too. To like
Right.
it will like if you Google, for instance, and Google has a little AI overview thing, you have to be real specific and you have to look into that because that AI overview will sometimes pull something from a similar subject.
Right. Um, and one thing that I've noticed is that AI is learning quick. And I mean, of course it is. But from the time that I started messing with it to this point, specifically with paranormal stuff, won't say the name of the location. We know what location I'm talking about. It went from spitting out what the common knowledge is to then all of a sudden going, well, they say this, but here's the records, and here's this, this, and this, and this. So
It all
it's saying,
sounded really good. If it's all true, it sounded really good. And I will say, Joe was doing his best to trick it. Because he was sending me all this on like voice memos, guys. So that's how I know because I wasn't here for this. Well, I was here for when it happened. I wasn't here for like the review of it. Um, and he was trying to trick it. He was like, "Oh, like, but you heard us say this before." And it was like, no, you never said this. And like, oh, well, you got this information from like us. And it was like, no, and he was just doing everything he could um, to basically trick it into saying like, yeah, like I made it up because of you guys or so, or, I guess, is that
right.
fair to say? And you
Yeah, because like even Friday House, he's like AI makes many mistakes and it's being used in far too many places at this point, and I agree. And my goal with the AI was let's see.
fuck
First off,
around.
right, let's see if a certain belief is true, and that is people believe that uh, you may have a better chance of capturing an EVP if it's done electronically. So if I put a walkie-talkie in a room, I walk away and I start asking questions on another walkie-talkie, and it comes through that other one where we're doing the EVP session. The odds would be better, believed anyways, to capture an EVP.
Based on like the radio waves and everything, which is a huge part of the idea of ghosts and
Right.
because that's EMF and it's also a big reason why people use EMF meters. So you know, but
Hey, Air Force.
that's all Harrier 51. That's actually I like that. Um, Yeah, it's really cool. And so I will say that what this AI did and said, if it can be verified, which, you know, like I said, just based on asking the questions and stuff, it was very adamant that all this stuff is verifiable, gave names and document numbers and all this kind of stuff. And it was like really, if it was making all that up, it was really impressive, but it's AI, so it could have. But
Right.
anyways, this specific thing coincided with like the entire night of this area. Um, like to the point where it wasn't broken clock right twice a day. It would have had to have been a broken clock was right 17 times that day. Uh, it was really intriguing. It was already like really intriguing what was happening that night. But then to add on this was like it was a huge like what the fuck moment.
Yeah, and I let me throw this up. Did the AI have any idea? So the AI did know where I was because, dang it, full transparency. Yes, the AI absolutely did know where we were. I did, and have been before we went there, saying, "Hey, continue to research Harriman Hospital. Like, just continue. Find any records of any deaths or whatever the stories that are floating around about the place." And um, oh, asked, Joanna. And and this is before we went because Joanna's part of the history of
We did
the
get a picture of her too, by the way.
yeah, yeah,
Because that story is like very unverifiable because it wasn't recent, but it was recent enough to where due to HIPAA laws, we cannot access most of the information, and we were able to get verified in person that we can't show in a video.
right. Now the story was what we were told, and you guys can go back and look at the past videos from Harriman, but we were told, Dawn's on here too, she can verify this. We were told that Joanna died at the hospital, that she was on duty, and she passed away in the hospital. Well, the AI is like basically saying that never happened. There's no record of this. There's no information about this whatsoever. Now, AI can miss that information, right? I mean, it's only going to it's scouring the internet, but it's only going to so many websites. Uh, so when we were at Harriman, that was one of the things that was asked about Joanna. And then they said, well, we just found out recently, and I don't remember the story, Dawson. She didn't actually die at the hospital.
She
She
died
was
in the ambulance.
she died in the ambulance on her way to the hospital. But the confusing thing was well, she was on duty. They put her in the ambulance, took her to the hospital. So it's like, so they took her out of this hospital, put her in the ambulance, took her out of the ambulance, and brought her back in the hospital. That doesn't make any sense. I think what it was is she may have been
She was at
working
home.
else. Yeah. She worked somewhere else as a nurse, or it happened at home and she worked at Harriman.
Yeah, I think that there was a weird mix of. I actually want to go back and watch Exploring with Josh's video there. It's like one of the first videos of Harriman, I believe. And Ronnie actually gives the tour and he tells the story. And from what I remember, based on my memory, he said that she just worked there and that she said that when she died, she was coming back. It was her
Right.
second home and that she died and then somebody saw her there. I do not remember him saying in that history thing that, like, during Josh's video, that she died at the hospital. I think this is where the freaking confusion comes from, and this is where lies and misinformation starts. Is
And it's not that
investigate.
yeah, it's not
It's not the
the
hospital.
it's
Yeah,
not the hospital, so it's not the owner's fault.
yeah. So investigators will say this, and guides will say this, and most of them don't know what they're doing is bad information or even right information, and then it just becomes this clusterfuck. So what we do know is that this person did exist, and they
Right.
did work at this hospital, and they did die. We know this information as a fact. The
Right.
hard part is because of all this information and because people are trying to connect the dots, you get this weird thing where it's like she died here. She did not die here. She died in the ambulance. But why was she in the ambulance if she was at work? I don't think she was at work. I think literally the story got messed up. She was at home or something, needed to go to the hospital, and died in the ambulance. I literally think it's as simple as that, but obviously I can't prove that.
But
And
that's the likely scenario.
yeah, it's the only scenario that makes sense because we do know for a fact that she was a person. We have her full name. We have a picture of her. Like, we know that this person existed. It's just, I think the story got so mixed up with people, most of them at no fault of their own, unless, maybe there's a few that intentionally, just created a narrative. But
Right.
for the hospital's sake, no fault of their own, it just kind of got ran with.
Right. Um, but again, with the AI, I'm going to continue to test it and see what happens. Maybe this was just a fluke. Again, even like last night, I was like, hey, more information, this information, that, things like that. Um, so if it worked, awesome. I can't say that it did. Interesting what it had spit out. And again, yes, I did ask for it to do research, and I did even went on to say, when you were doing your research, was this something that you knew already?
Yeah, and it said no.
And it kept saying no. Like, I mean, I did all kinds of stuff to throw it off, try to get it to be inconsistent, or basically tell me, oh no, I'm, just kidding, whatever. And no, it has been consistent on what it claims it had heard.
And there is one part about it that includes a blackout, and I did look that up, and that does seem to be a real thing. I didn't dive too deep in it because I haven't messed with that part yet, because most of that is Joe's thing. But that part is real. So if that part is real, then like is the other stuff real? And that's sort of where the verification comes from. And it was really cool. And just to be clear, I think that there may be, I just want to say this. We're not saying that we are asking this AI to be possessed by a ghost or anything like that. It was just sort of it was kind of like Ghost Chatter. If you guys know Ghost Chatter by Paranormal Encounters, he created this app Ghost Chatter. It just asks questions with you. It is not like a spirit talker. It is not something that's supposed to be talking back to you from the ghost or anything. It was sort of just like a third person there with me and Joe, and it's
Right.
supposed to listen. And what it listened and found, potential EVP, it was very interesting based on how our night went. When the tablet was off, when the iPad was off, was a huge chunk of when this stuff was happening that related to what it heard.
I think the reason for that, though, no, this is the reason. While you were gone, I actually told AI, hey, this is what happened. We got trapped. Funny. Haha. Basically just trying to get it into a rhythm, warm it up or whatever. So I was letting it know kind of what happened. You're laughing.
No, I just thought of something really funny about the AI.
So, and here's the thing. Again, it's not like this spirit talk. It's none of that. It's absolutely none of that. Dang, 25 months, Julie. Holy cow. Awesome. Here's the thing. If I say something, it's going to respond to me. If Dawson says something, it's going to respond. So it is absolutely important while doing an EVP session that everybody shuts up, because the moment somebody says a word, it's going to respond.
Hmm.
So that was sort of an issue that we were having, is that it kept responding to us. But what I did was I said, look, ask questions regarding the location and what you've researched. And when I say ask, you ask the question. So quiet, and I say ask. Boom, starts asking a question. We'll wait 10 seconds or whatever. Then I'll go ask. And then we'll ask another question. But as soon as somebody starts talking, it throws that whole thing off. Then it'll respond back like, ah.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, honestly, it was an annoying thing. It wasn't perfected. He hadn't done it anywhere but his house, as far as I'm aware, right?
I was testing it. Was training it, like doing test training and stuff like that.
And yeah, it was just honestly, I was sitting there going like, okay, let's be done with this thing. And then, we did it for maybe what 10 minutes at each spot of these two specific
Maybe,
spots.
yeah, something like
And then
that.
the other spot we went to didn't use it at all. So we didn't use it that much, and for it to come up with it was like really cool because it just went along with something like really well, that just like connected the dots. And that was also kind of part of the issue, guys, was like it connected the dots. Like the dots that we were having, what the AI captured connected all of them in a really like too good to be true way almost. And that's why it's like so interesting to us, and why the research is being done about this person, to see if this person existed, if they actually died this way, if they lived this way, if whatever. Um, it was just kind of cool. So we'll see whenever those videos release. Um, if we were able to disprove it, if we were able to prove it, if all that kind of thing. So hopefully you guys care as much as me and Joe do, because it was pretty cool, pretty exciting, and honestly one of those things where I'm pretty sure Joe's gonna do this again. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm gonna use. I'll continue to use it. Again, it's a new method, kind of, sort of. Um, I haven't seen anybody do this. I mean, I know there's like things out there. Oh, use this device. It's got AI for capturing or whatever. But this was not packaged for
yeah,
ghost hunting.
right.
And I also wanted to make sure that I use something that anybody could use. Absolutely anybody. I'm not saying the name of it right now. I'm waiting. So it is a new kind of a new method. Again, just testing it out. I'm not claiming, oh, this works or anything like that. But the results in
If
that
this
short amount of
result,
time.
yeah, if this result, this specific thing, turns out to be verifiable and legitimate, um, I wouldn't say that it does work. I will just say that it might have worked with a D, in that moment. And yes, you guys can come at me all you want. I'm gonna be the one to say it. I know that Joe's not gonna say it, but I'm the one to say that if all of this stuff turns out to be verifiable, real, all the information is there, and we're able to like go through all the metadata and everything, I will say that it worked in that moment. And it may never work again,
Right.
or it might be really cool. But I am actually pretty excited about it. And I don't even I'll be straight up, I don't even know what it is. Joe kind of just so what I was laughing about was I was just thinking about when Crow called right when we were getting started, and you said like, hey Crow or something, we're on an investigation, and it starts talking, and he said something like, what is that? And then I was like, it's Joe's girlfriend, and he was like, quit saying that, because it's going to start like acknowledging it, because like it's an AI, you like train it to be
Right.
responsive. And he's like, quit, like don't be saying that. And so I was laughing because I was thinking about the time that I called it your girlfriend.
Oh God, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. And then I was finally able to get it to like, because um, I'm not sure why, but it was pretty fucking flirty and shit, saying all kinds of crazy shit, things that I can't say on here, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is like weird.
It's scary too, though, because there's real people that fall for that kind of thing, and they're falling for it every day. And I'm actually like genuinely worried for like uh so, people in this world because they're gonna and there's already people that it's happening to that they're like falling in love with AI. I know Joe isn't going to, but it's like actually kind of scary. So like if anybody in this chat is like a little or anybody watching after is like kind of you know um desperate for love, I guess I could say. And that's not a dig at anybody, but if you are, please stay away from AI because it's getting scary good.
Yeah. In fact, with what I was using, the developers had to make changes to it because they were getting complaints that people were treating their AI like a girlfriend or um, and I read this somewhere where people were using like that particular one to like simulate like the sounds of sex. So I'm like, I would have never have even thought of like doing that. Like, what the fuck?
Honestly, as soon as AI like pictures became a thing, my first thought was like, "Oh no, people are gonna be so disgusting with AI." And like,
So,
they've recently like loosened on that kind of thing, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, we gotta
so
have.
the one thing that it won't do is take a real person's picture and then just like make them naked. Um, now there are the ones you got to pay for that can do stuff like that, which is I'm like, no, 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 no. That because remember there was that I think she was um, a Twitch streamer and some guy used AI to make it look like she was in a certain kind of film. We'll just say, and she was like not happy about. Obviously, she was crying. She was upset. She was horrified by it, and she said she was going to sue the guy. I don't know what happened with that, but that's that's scary, and there definitely should and there are things in place to keep that from happening. So you
Yeah,
can't do that. I mean,
and
that's
it's
fucked up
the
to do.
laws are gonna come, and honestly, part of my worry about it is like these laws are gonna come, and it is going to come at our expense as well as Americans with free speech and all this and that. And it's like one of those weird things where like as someone who I'm more libertarian, and not to get political, but like I believe in small government, and we're just gonna keep passing laws, and this is going to like take away our freedom of speech because of idiots. And like I can just see it now. Like there's going to be these laws. You can't do this, and it's also probably going to include things like Photoshop and stuff like that. But I want to say, Dawn said, I disagree. It is easy to tell, in my opinion. You were actually, and like a lot of it is easy to tell. But the thing is most people aren't seeing this. But there's like crazy AIs out there that aren't necessarily just it's not like Sora, what's it called? Sona?
Or something like that. Yeah.
And then there's also, like Chat GPT and like Copilot. There's stuff they'll make like a full video of like someone cooking food and you cannot tell the difference. Like there's compilations on YouTube. You should look it up like real or AI and you basically play the game with them and they show both clips and you will actually be surprised at how many you'll get wrong. It's like not all of them are necessarily like some of them you need a really powerful computer to create this as well. Like that's also part of why like a lot of it is hard to easy to tell is like you're just doing it from your phone. It
Well,
is
it's doing
getting
it
crazy.
online, so it's not using your phone's hardware.
Right.
It's being done by their stuff wherever their facility is. Um, so I know there's a lot of people like, yeah, that's AI. Most people though, and I mean, dude, Facebook. I can use Facebook for an example. Here's this political public figure. Oh, look what this guy said. You watch it and it's like, that's AI. What the fuck? And
Yeah.
then you read the comments and people are like, oh, what a piece of shit, or blah, 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 blah. I'm like, do they not realize that this is AI?
Most of those are bots too, though, that are
Right.
intentionally doing that. But there are plenty of people that can't understand. But I'm telling you, there is a lot of AIs out there that most people don't just like know they exist, and like they don't have as many restrictions, and they truly are so good that you're saying AI slop is you guys you don't understand. It's not all just AI slop out there. There is crazy stuff that like you can't tell that someone's
You're
sizzling bacon, It's
um
pretty crazy.
maybe I should try this and make a video of it. Um of course I would let people know, like on YouTube, but if I throw it out there somewhere else, like TikTok or something, and not say a word, I wonder how many people would believe it's real. Because first off, TikTok, it's compression. They're watching it on their phone. It's gonna be hard to tell.
Short attention span.
Right. It's gonna be sort of hard to tell. Also, it has to be done right in order to make it look more realistic than than what it would normally be done wrong. And again, full transparency. In my videos that I'll be doing that will be coming out, I am using AI, and I'm using AI. I don't know if you guys have seen the new little picture that I have, but I will show you guys. I have a character that I created with AI. It's more for storytelling than anything else. That's not the one I wanted.
That's a good idea, Tarnia, and maybe I will do that because some of it is pretty crazy. Some of it is stuff that you'll like never see on the internet, and it's sort of just like well, you obviously you're gonna see it on the internet, but it's not just like videos on like TikTok and stuff. Some of it is just specifically made for like these compilations, and some of it's pretty crazy. And honestly, as like people, we're cooked. Like it's kind of scary, like how that's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is 7. And that's him in motion.
I would love to figure out how to use AI to make like stock footage and like stuff like that for like my history and my videos. But dude, it's rocket science to me. I just cannot like I just can't grasp it. One time I even thought about just like hitting up Wisdom and asking if he would like be like my AI stock footage person, because he's really good at it and everything. But obviously that's asking someone to, because I don't have money. It's just asking someone to use their time just to make me stuff. So like I don't know. I need to get with the program, or I'm gonna be left behind pretty quickly. But people. I don't know. I think the stock footage would be fine, but like with AI, like what some of you guys were saying with a lot of this like AI slop, like Coca-Cola did a commercial. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. It's on TV and everything, and they used AI to create a whole like animated like Coca-Cola driving in the snow like with their semis and dropping off Coca-Cola and everything that they normally would just animate. And they used AI, and people like lost their minds over it. I don't know. Did you see any of that, Joe?
No.
Well, people were just like, "Are you kidding me? Like this trillion-dollar company is like won't like part of the problem is like a lot of it is like people believe. I don't really see a problem with people trying to save money necessarily, but part of the problem is they're like, oh well, there goes all of Coca-Cola's like editors and graphic designers and blah blah blah,
There
which
still needs to be some editing and things like that done, though. There because like the sound effects with AI aren't exactly. as soon as you hear, or at least me, anyways, as soon as I hear audio from AI, I know immediately it has this sound.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's almost
but
like a background noise, like through the whole
like
thing.
yeah, it's a weird digital sound thing. Um, but with what I'm doing, it's more for story. Um, I can integrate, like, so with B-roll footage, I can actually integrate B-roll footage or picture of that entity into the scene. And again, that's for storytelling, and you guys will be seeing that soon. But again, because I'm also doing this whole thing with showing the raw footage and editing and shit like that, um, AI will not be used to be like fake shit.
Well,
But
obviously.
I may use it just to see how many people respond to believing that it was real. But like people here on YouTube and shit like that, you guys will know.
Yeah.
But like people like we'll say like on TikTok or wherever, I'm not going to say a word. Just throw it out there, see what
Well,
happens, and
yeah,
then
as
make
long
a
as you're
follow up
not
video.
yeah, as long as you're not just like, hey, check out this paranormal activity I caught, storytelling. I don't, there's here's the thing is like with my stock footage, like when most people know in my videos I give like detailed history and I do all the stock footage and the fancy stuff and the drone shots. Like obviously people know that the stock footage I'm using isn't from like the actual case from like 1825. So like,
Right.
I don't see any issue with using AI for that and like even like, walk around doing a history tour and like showcasing this activity and stuff like that. Um, so I just hey Matt, hey John, anybody else that came in, and Cree, I have not heard that. That's really interesting. Um, you know, there's a couple reasons why I'm not a huge fan that we are just like investing so much in AI, but there's also reasons I am like, yes, we have to.
Here's the thing:
Yeah,
AI is okay with certain things. It's okay, like with music. There are certain things with it where I'm like, okay, I get it, I understand. But to type in what you want and for it to just completely generate a song based on what you typed in, that's when I'm like, no, no, because it like I got to grab a guitar. I have to come up with things. I have to put things together, right? And that takes time. And then you get somebody who just types in a couple of things, some prompts, and then there it is. I take issue with that. Now,
yeah,
if
the
it's somebody who
creativity part of it for sure.
right, and the thing is like, and again, I'm okay if somebody's doing that and putting stuff out there, but they're not claiming to be a musician. They're not claiming any of that. Okay, fine, whatever. But the problem is that there's too many people who are doing it that way, throwing it out there,
Millions of
especially
views
like
on
on
Spotify and shit.
yeah, yeah. And it's like, well, wait a minute. What about, like people like me? We, sit there and try to put shit together, and things like that.
I do think
And
there's going to be a sharp turn.
the record industry definitely not liking it.
Well, yeah, I think that there's going to be like a sharp turn. I hope at least. I guess maybe this is just like me being optimistic and like an idiot, but like I do believe that there's going to be one of these like sharp turns where people just stop using AI for shit like that and only use it for like important shit and like robotics and this and that. That would be really cool. I guess I'm being optimistic, but most people are just like hate uh like AI slop and the music and like I think the stock footage and stuff is pretty cool when it's used in like storytelling and stuff, but like the dude, I've been seeing videos of like freaking do you know like the freaking little Indian dudes in the woods that make like houses and shit like out of dirt?
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen videos on like my Facebook it's fake, and they're like building houses and doing this and that, and it's AI. And honestly, like it's kind of like in a way, it's kind of cool, like um that they're able to do that. Like my brain is like, okay, that's cool that you could do that with AI. But like I'm also like, dude, I'll see the comments and there's like old people that are like, wow, that's my dream kitchen. Good job, guys. How much did that cost you? I'm like, it's AI. They don't actually have koi fish and epoxy in the floor. Like, like what are we talking about? Hey, Baldy.
Hello.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Matt.
How's it going? Yep,
Yeah,
I'm officially going to be bald, and I'm growing a beard now.
Are you?
Yeah, because I'm getting out of the Marine Corps tomorrow. Sorry, Monday.
I thought
Oh
it was.
yeah, you're only
I thought
allowed
it
a
was
mustache.
today.
Yeah, no. So technically, my last time wearing uniform was yesterday, but
Oh, okay.
on Monday I'm checking out. So finally, it's about time.
Hey,
Then
Cree, I'm on your side, by the way.
Matt is bald. Yes, I am, and I'm about to grow that beard.
Well, you can grow a beard, right? If you like, because I knew a guy that was in the military and he grew a beard, but I think he had to
Yeah,
There's a medical
some kind of
issue.
medical
pagan
reason.
or something like that, or like.
No, you have to have a medical issue.
Well, with him, he I guess was able to prove that was like a Viking descent or something, and he was able to do it.
I don't know about all that. I just know if it's a medical thing, then yeah.
He
There
was
is
in the army
religious.
though.
Yeah, there is religious things, but it has to be a well-known religion. It can't just be anything you make up. And also they're changing that because of P Hexeth. So there will no longer be any exceptions for that. Even if you have a medical thing, they're about to have you just not be able to be in the military if you have a medical condition that as you get older.
Oh, the guy that I know, and Matt knows too, Brian Hux. While he was Air Force, he was able to have all the facial hair and shit like that because something about the medical or something.
Yeah, so it mostly happens to black people, but they have like a lot of bumps, razor bumps that are very bad. I forgot what it's called. There's a name for it. This kind of
Eczema.
Something like that. And
it's not razor bumps, but if that's what you're talking about, it's like the little bumps. That's eczema.
Yeah, basically you get it when you shave, and so there's some people that have those shave chits. No shave chits. So I don't know. I never been one of those people. So, but now that I'm getting out, I don't have to. I can now have a beard.
So. Yeah. So you're just copying me and Joe.
Pretty much. I mean, he's copying Zach. So
I was gonna ask if Zach Bagans was bald with a beard now.
Oh my god! I was actually going through Instagram, right? And I saw like a Discovery Plus post with Zach Bagans on there. And he's wearing a fucking multicam hat, black multicam hat. And I've been wearing fucking black multicam for a long time. And of course, Zach Bagans is doing another thing of fucking copying me.
Yeah, dude, you should sue him.
You can't sue over that crap.
You can. You just may not win, but you can sue anyway. You should. There's these certain people that I know that will absolutely sue you.
I can't get away from this guy. I feel like I'm legitimately cursed. Watch him get a helmet one day and watch him go bald one day.
I mean, he's absolutely wore a helmet with like a camera on top.
Yeah, he has done that.
Yeah, he's done that. Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
Who hasn't really? I mean, like, I feel like I'm one of the, because I like my hair, like I'll either wear a beanie or like I won't let anything on my hair. So like, you know, I would have done it. Like, I wish there was an easier way to have a POV camera, or I guess not a POV camera, but the opposite, pointed towards me, without wearing a helmet.
What kind of helmet was it? Was it like a standard construction bump cat?
No, it was like a black one with little lights on the side.
Yeah, right. You're just
No,
fucking
I'm
with me.
serious. I'm mad. I'm being so serious. Like, I promise you, as much as like, you do have that cool helmet that you showed
I'm
and
looking
like
this
people
up
unearthed,
now.
but he like pretty much everybody's done it. Like Ryan and Shane from they used to be BuzzFeed, but now they're, what is it, The Watcher?
Yeah.
Um they've been doing that since like 2012 as well.
I thought it was funny, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but I thought it was funny because I had seen a group go to a location that I have and others have been, and in it, I don't know if it was this location or if it's just something that they're gonna start doing. They're like, oh, we're gonna handcuff, ourselves, in these locations and be left alone. Can't remember what all was said. I'm like, oh, hasn't been done before. I had some shit like that.
I bring
Now,
handcuffs to every location.
and I'm thinking to myself, been there, fucking done that. Like, we've done shit like that. There's nothing new about that shit. Nothing at all.
Yeah. See, that's my issue is like I love when like other people copy other people. For instance, like and let me get this out, guys, before you say what. Like for instance, I do the lone camera theory. It is literally just a spin-off of Paranormal Quest's Abandonment and Paranormal Encounters. He does what does he call it? Isolation. And other people do it as well, but
I've,
Paranormal Quest have really done it first because they kind of have like a good argument on why they've done it for,
No,
and
no.
like, yeah, other people have left cameras in places and everything, but their reasoning for doing it, and like
It's
they
the
have
same
like,
reason that I've done that. I've done that at Hales. I've done that at many locations well before they even started investigating.
do you know
This
why they
and,
started doing it though?
they wanted to, well, for me, let's see what happens when nobody's in there versus when people are in there.
Well, kind of, but that's not necessarily why they started doing it. But anyways, my point is like as long as you don't pretend like you're the first one to do it when you know you're not, I have no
Oh.
issue with people like, copying things like that. Like for instance, for the first like 4 times I did the lone camera theory abandonment, I gave Paranormal Quest, their flowers about it. And then I said, okay, guys, this is the last time I'm going to give them a shout out for this. Um, you know, because if you don't know by now, they did it first and now I'm doing it as well. But anyways, they did it because they were doing like a residential haunt, and I only know this because they told a story during the event that we did at Greene County Historical Society, and they were doing like a residential, and they were just getting really frustrated. Nothing was happening, and they were sort of just like they weren't necessarily happy with the people that lived there, and so they like left and they went down the street and they were just kind of talking off camera and like arguing with each other for like an hour or something like that, guys, this isn't an exact recreation. But then whenever they went back, they ended the night, they shut everything off and they went home. And when they reviewed the footage, they caught full like a conversation happening or whatever. And they're like, whoa, that's really cool. So then they started doing it everywhere. So like, I
Right.
think their
So-
reasoning is like really cool. And, I don't believe they did it based on what other people have done in the past.
Right. I mean, other people have done it in the past. Even like when I first got started, that was something that the team that I was with would do. They'd set up their fucking big ass video cameras and shit like that, and recorders, and then nobody in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and then see what happens. So that's like where I got that idea from, and I started doing that when I was going to places. I couldn't do it at every place that I went to, but it was something that I had definitely had done, and I know many others have done before. Right. Like, and not to take anything away from Paranormal Quest. I'm not like, oh, fuck those guys, they're copying. But no, I mean, like, there's honestly really nothing new in the paranormal. I mean, it's all basically been done before. Maybe it's implemented different.
Right.
Technology changes, things like that.
Well, someone said dead internet theory earlier in the chat. I forget who it was, but like that's like a real thing. Like, it's a really interesting thing because the dead internet theory is like scary because it's like almost for sure true. But you know, in the way you were saying it, like the DVR cameras, when you're doing a residential, you can't just be there all the time. So you set up the DVR cameras, and that's in a way abandonment. Because like
Even in the early 2000s, all like a lot of these locations, they set up cameras. Nobody's in these fucking places. They just set up cameras, streamed it online for people to watch, and nothing fucking ever happened, which is funny because I'm like, I always say, well, I keep hearing these stories about how things were captured, people seeing things, and some of these places have cameras that were being streamed online for like a year, couple of years.
the Bel Air House used to do it.
Yeah, and nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, some cool stuff would happen, but like, of course, you know, when it comes to like apparitions, like there's absolutely been like really cool apparition footage out there that like, is it real? Is it fake? You know, some of it I'm just like inclined to believe some of it is real. You know, shadow figures, for instance, there's really cool evidence of shadow figures. Wink, wink. Watch my video that's coming out. But you know, when Joe caught a shadow figure, I don't know if Matt, I haven't watched all his stuff. I don't know if he's ever captured anything like that, but like some of it's really cool and it can happen. But part of the argument as well goes with, you know, like what would Kenny say if the house is empty and you catch like a shadow figure? The question's going to be, well, you weren't there. You don't have any data on like if anybody was around the house. Whereas the cameras outside the house, you know, it could be someone going through the window. It could be a car, a weird shadow, you know. So there's also flaws in the whole abandonment thing as well. But it's also, you know, cool because like when the door shut at Old Hospital in College Hill, like that was really cool, but it wasn't a ghost. You know, like that kind of, you know, if we didn't have audio, that would have absolutely been a ghost. Like we would have pursued that as a ghost, but we had
As soon
audio.
as I seen that door open or move or whatever, I was
Close.
like, I knew that area. Dawn and I had been there, and I'm like, that was air. That was airflow. Had to have been airflow. And well,
we believe that it was a vacuum. We believe that it more or less got kind of sucked shut versus like pushed shut,
yeah.
just based on like where we were and like how, you know, where certain broken windows were. Because we don't think like a big gust of wind went down that hallway to shut it. We kind of think it got sucked.
I mean, it's a yeah. I mean, if it was like a
which
huge
is the same
gust of
thing,
wind,
but
well, yeah, but you would expect to see a hell of a lot more like debris and shit like that in the air. But I definitely want to go back to the old.
I would love to go back. When we went, it was what, January, and it was like 4 degrees out or something, and we're like down in the basement, which, believe it or not, was like kind of the warmest place, which was kind of weird because, you know, heat rises, but it was like 8 degrees down there, and like we're sitting there like trying to film, and we're like, is there can you touch the REM pod? And we're like shaking and shit. And like, we don't even want to be there. Like, we don't, honestly, like the only thing that was keeping us going was like, we caught a really cool EVP in my video that I debunked. It was not an EVP. Well, I guess it sounded like an EVP, but it was us. But like that was the only thing keeping us going. It was like, oh, we might have caught this really cool sentence on camera. And like, but we were just like we're just ready to get the fuck out of there.
Right. So when Dawn and I were there, we were up on one of the upper levels, and one of my digital recorders was by the stairs in the basement. And something said to the effect of go up. I believe it was go up. Wasn't Dawn or I. We were nowhere near the digital recorder. And why would we say go up? We were already on a level investigating.
By the way, I already searched it. I could not find any photos anywhere.
Well, yeah, you got to watch
this
all
entire
27
time being
seasons,
quiet.
man. He was
looking
just
for a
desperately trying to prove that he did it before Zach Bagans.
Um,
No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Matt.
And then what sounded like something being scooted and then knocked over.
Yeah, didn't you get a chair moving down in the basement?
Yeah, there was also what sounded like a metal chair, like being slid across the floor. Not across the floor, but just a slide of a metal chair on the floor. I don't know what the fuck it was. I just heard it. Nothing was on camera. Like, so I don't know what it was. I mean, I know what it sounded like. What, but was it a metal chair? I fuck if I know.
Oh, dude, speaking of that, I was reviewing footage for Harriman Hospital and I caught the craziest EVP that was caught on my camera microphone. And it was like, it literally sounded like a person yelling, ah. And I was like, what? That is crazy. And I'm reviewing everything and I'm like, this is nuts. And dude, I recorded this whole video for you showcasing it. And I found out the reason it was not a ghost. I freaking had one of the cameras completely misaligned, and it was you like coughing. Anyways, yeah. I thought it was a ghost. I was like, fully, dude, I did this whole video. I'm like, look, this proves that it wasn't either of us because I was, wireless mics and everything. And it was the footage misaligned. But I was like, literally about to send it to you. And I was like, what is this? Because, like, to all accounts, it was like surely an EVP. But that's why you do the proper review.
That's trying to do your best to set up as best as you possibly can.
Yeah. So that's not going to be in the video, guys, because it was just misaligned footage. It's not something that I can like debunk. It was just like a screw up. But so you won't see that in the video. So it just, this is just for the people in the chat so you can know. Matt, you never said you love me back.
Love you too. Sorry, I'm dealing with this cat card issue. So I've been working
sure.
on that.
You're still looking up Zach Bagans in a helmet, aren't you?
No.
And only a helmet.
Trying to get this stupid CAC reader to work properly.
A what?
This CAC reader is not working on this very specific website, so I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, it's called CAC. This is your military ID.
Oh.
And so I'm trying to do DMO at the moment, but I'm having issues with the websites. Only this website, because I go on Marine Online and it works fine. So
Hey, I do have a question for you, by the way, though. When you moved to Indiana, you don't obviously have to say exactly like where, but like southern, mid, west, east, north Indiana, where are you going to be?
Fort Wayne.
Oh, so fuck it, all the way north.
Yeah. I like
Well,
Fort
damn,
Wayne.
that sucks. I was going to ask
Indianapolis,
you to
I do not like.
I was going to ask you to do, I have this weekend that I'm going to do up there, and I'm going to film 4 places. And I was just going to be like, hey, Matt, come with me. But yeah, you'll be too far.
How far is it?
For you, probably like,
Dude, we've driven
5
across
hours.
the fucking country to haunted locations. What are you talking about?
It's like 5 hours though.
That's not
Oh, 5 hours.
But
Oh,
it's
fuck.
gonna be during the winter too, so it's like gonna suck.
even better. I like the winter.
Okay.
All right, well, driving in snow sucks, but yeah. I
Okay,
like when people
is-
are like, yeah, I would have invited you, man, but you're like 2 hours from there, and then I'm like,
You're like
2
a half
hours
hour
is
away,
nothing.
dude. As I drove like 6 hours to get there.
I was 2.5 hours from Harriman.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
4 hours
Annoying.
or 3.5 hours, something like that, to get to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
Dude, I literally could not see. It wasn't like storming hard or anything like that whenever I was going home, but like because of the mountains and everything, and like the road was wet. It wasn't really raining, but like there were so many semis and you know how they like shoot up
Yeah.
all that water. Dude, I couldn't see anything the whole drive back to my hotel. And like the whole time I was just like, well, I think I'm in between the lines. It was terrifying.
Yeah, it got like so. Well, I went home. Yeah, rain, and then the semi trucks throwing the fucking water up on the car and shit like that. And yeah, at one point I'm like, I have no idea if I'm in a lane or not. I don't fucking know.
Well, I'm going to continue moving because I can't fix this cat card issue, so I'm gonna have to wait until Monday, I guess. So I
You
don't
just
think it's
wanted to
cat
show
card
off your shiny head, didn't you?
totally.
Um, when
I
you got to be out of the house.
we're leaving on the 15th, so I've been going through this Kex card issue stuff, and I don't think
You need
starting
to fucking hurry up and fucking pack your shit, man. It's the 13th.
DMO is taking care of most of it.
Department of Military Operations. Is that it?
It's like moving. It's the
Department of Moving Operations.
I actually don't know what it stands for. We just call it DMO. But
I heard it takes forever though for them to get your shit to your house.
Well, that's fine. I don't need all of my stuff right away.
Well, because my friend went to Washington, and he was like, "Oh, the military will like completely pay to like bring my truck to me and everything." And he was saying that it was going to be like 4 months though, so he just paid us and bought our plane tickets, and we drove from Illinois 30 hours all the way to Washington State and to bring it to him, and we just flew back home.
Yeah, it's free too. They pack everything.
Yeah,
up
exactly.
For you. It's pretty nice. You could just leave everything here, and they'll be like, "Okay, we'll pack it up." I'm packing up this stuff though. That's why some of it's missing right now. So
make sure you bring your computer with you. Don't let
Yeah.
them take it.
I am. I already bought something to put my computer in. It's like this case for it. So it has pockets on the sides too. It's pretty cool.
Oh, dude, pockets?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Officially bald.
That is pretty crazy.
Yep.
Have you ever grown a beard before other than the goatee?
Nope. Not a full beard.
How do you know it's going to look good?
We'll find out.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. It's just all like patchy and like gross looking. It will look like that for a little bit though.
Yeah, it will look like that in the beginning.
You know, it's a myth that if you shave, it grows back faster. I still don't believe that it's a myth, but they say it's a myth.
I don't really know. I'm getting older now though, so I think my facial hair is at my peak.
How old are you?
30.
Damn. No, I'm just kidding.
How old are you?
26.
I see. Yeah, we're the young ones, huh?
4 years away from the big 3-0, the dirty 30.
Yeah. So Cree says it was something like thought when it was like House of Spirits. Check out House of Spirits.
Hey, Mike.
House of Spirits.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Ghost Quest. Well, I'm going to be ending this soon. I meant to end it sooner.
Yeah, you were like, we're only going to be live for like an hour.
Yeah, I only wanted to be live for like an hour.
We had cool stuff to talk about, Joe. We also, by the way, if anybody is sitting there going like, well, I've seen all of Joe's Harriman videos, let me say this too. We got access. We're one of the earlier people. There's probably maybe a video out of somebody in this area. We got early access pretty much to investigate a part of the hospital that had really never been investigated other than a few times. So that'll be new. So if you're thinking maybe you could skip it, there's a whole new area of the hospital that will be investigated by us in that video.
Don't hype it up too much.
The only reason why it went so long is because of Dawson talking and hogging the stream. All right. I hadn't been, on a live stream in a long time. Sorry, I missed you guys.
I can't find it, Cree. Send me a link.
All right. I'll go ahead. I will end it here.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for hanging out, watching. Appreciate it.
Subscribe to
Ooh.
Joe. Subscribe to me.
Okay.
Unsubscribe to him. No, I'm just kidding. Subscribe
Agreed.
to him.
Agreed.
Watch
Y'all-
Evil on Earth.
Uh,
Hey, happy early birthday, Julie. Because there's no way in hell Joe's going to keep going until midnight. So happy birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
happy
All right.
birthday. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, ending it now.
Bye-bye.
Later. Goodbyes.
Bye.